Hey guys, this is Carter, and doing something a little bit different here for our Bioshock Let's Play. Since Ian's at work, I decided to record some parts of Bioshock on my own. And with that in mind, I can kind of give you the feedback on what I was doing here, because all this footage that you're seeing right now has been pre-recorded. So first off, I will say I am not really that good at first-person shooters. I have a lot of trouble with them, so you'll see me make a hell of a lot of mistakes, especially in these next two parts that you're going to be seeing, both in this part and in part 7 that I recorded after this. So in this one, we're trying to get into Fontaine Fisheries, and he's just like, hey, I'm not opening that door if that fucking crazy splicer woman, that spider splicer woman, is gonna be attacking you. And I think Atlas sends that drone to come and help me out. So that happens, and this gnarly scream in the background that you can hear. So this whole mission here is to, I believe, set me up for A, I'm getting the grenade launcher, and B, I have to go and grab the camera that is upstairs in the area that's like right above here. Now I do a lot of mistakes in these two parts, and you're gonna see why. The point of the camera is that you're supposed to take pictures of these splicers so you can get like some extra information on them, I guess. However, like the last time I played this game was back when I was playing it on the 360, and one of the things that I'm not sure if I'm able to do or not is if I'm able to go back to previous levels. I think I can, but I'm not exactly sure. So you'll see me try and take on pretty much every single Big Daddy I see, because one of the main trophies in this game is to either harvest or rescue every little sister in every single level. So I'm trying to rescue them all, which you get less at them, but Tenenbaum was like, hey, I'll give you a prize, or I'll give you something cool if you rescue all of the little sisters for me. So I was like, sure, I'll do that. And I like playing as a more good aligned character rather than evil in these kinds of games where your morality is kind of questioned and like based on the decisions that you make. I tend to always go for the good aligned stuff because I like playing good characters. I like playing people who are nice. I like playing good aligned characters in general. Whether or not they follow the law, like whether or not they're lawful or chaotic, that doesn't really matter as much. I just rather play a good character. It's not to say I will never play a campaign where you have to, or I won't play a game where you do like evil decisions in it. I've done it before, mainly so I can like complete the game. I mean, in Fire Emblem Three Houses, I love Edelgard, so I kind of chose the evil path in a way. So, but I didn't know that it was like the bad path until afterwards. But yeah, you're gonna see me die a lot in these two next parts, based on stupid things that I'm doing here. As you see, I have the hypnotized Big Daddy thing out here because I'm gonna try and fight him at some point, because I saw there was a Big Daddy when I got back to this area. And another stupid thing that I'm doing is I was using up a lot of my grenade launcher bullets, which I just got the grenade launcher, so supplies in this game are very, very thin, and I kind of ride that line in this game of trying to keep a handle on my resources, and then by mistake I'll accidentally like use all of my resources at some point. Like the Eve is the worst offense on that. So there you can see the Big Daddy. I believe those ones are called the Rosies. Those ones have like machine guns and like projectile weapons that they can attack you with, as opposed to the ones in the first level with the drill arm that kind of has to run at you and gain some speed. The Rosies can hit you from afar, and they have like proximity mines and stuff like that. So I kind of find these ones to be a lot harder. As you saw in some of the last parts when I was fighting Big Daddies, I was able to kind of glitch it to where where I was able to kind of like get the drill Big Daddy hooked on a wall. Now you can see me trying to, like, regretting my decision immediately to go after this thing. And I'm trying to take up as much damage on it, and I'm trying to I was trying to get him on my side at one point so I can just stop getting attacked. You're going to see this image of me coming out of this Vita chamber a lot in these next few parts, because I am not good at this game. I kind of crack under pressure, which you don't really see it as much when it's just Eden and I. Like, I think that was actually one of the first deaths I had in this game. Also, the fact that I can't really decide what my strategy is until I'm kind of just running and gunning, or just like, I think my best decision to try and fight these things is to hit them with the electro bolt and then kind of go in with a whatever weapon I have. And the controls are kind of clunky, if I'm going to be honest, and it all depends on how you're moving about and how you're approaching different enemies, because it's clear you're not supposed to be fighting the Big Daddies at the beginning. That's kind of what the camera's for. I gotta get a camera and then take a picture of one of them so I can kind of get some more information. That part at the beginning where the guy's like, hey, go get the camera and take some research on those splicers, that's really important, because what the camera does is that the more information, like more times you take pictures of certain enemies, the more you can get certain bonuses on them. Like, I believe if you take a certain amount of pictures of your first enemy, that whatever one you're taking a picture of, so if you say you take a picture of a splicer, at a certain point you'll get, with like a certain amount of pictures, you can get combat bonuses on a splicer specifically. So my next plan, you'll see later when I get the camera, one of the things I'm trying to do is trying to find a Big Daddy so I can take a picture of it, so I can get some combat bonuses on the Big Daddies, because they are one of the most important enemies that you have to fight in this game. I mean, hell, they're on the cover of the box, so they are kind of important. I've said this before many times, but the hypnotized Big Daddy plasmid that you have here is probably one of my favorites, next to the bug, the bee one, which I don't think I've gotten yet. I love it just because, like, I just love having an ally with me that can kind of takes up a lot of the attention of the enemies that you're going against. Now, when you see me using this plasmid, the hypnotized Big Daddy, I kind of get a little paranoid. I always have to keep one eye on the Big Daddy. You'll see that at one point where I kind of just start staring at it at one point. I don't think it's here, but every so often I kind of either try and run away from it when there's no one in the area, or I kind of just keep an eye like over my shoulder at the Big Daddy. So as you can see, at that point I'm kind of just trying to hide away from it, because I know that as soon as I lose control of that Big Daddy, which you'll see me kind of get that moment here after I grab all these things. That's why I immediately take out the plasmid again. But you notice I start watching it very carefully, and I'll explain why in a second. When you see its green light like that start to flash, it means that your control over the Big Daddy is going to end soon. So you see me kind of just waiting for that to go away. And yeah, as soon as it goes yellow, I just throw another plasmid at it, but that removes all of that energy that I had. And the Big Daddy can't go down here underneath the sewer area, so I was kind of trying to see if I could find a way that I can get some distance on it if it decided to go rogue on me. So, and I was trying to get all the things that are under here, like this thing from Andrew Ryan. At some point I do start getting an abundance of shotgun and machine gun ammo, which really kind of screws with my screws with me wanting to go and get pretty much every item I see. There's one thing I don't really like about that was weird actually, just seeing that again, just seeing the Eve pickup just flying into the sewer like that. You'll see me kind of just trying to stall here because the grade over here is pretty big, so I'm thinking like, should I attack these guys, or where the fuck's the Big Daddy? I don't know where he went. He should be in that area, but he wasn't. I think he started moving away. But these enemies are here, and I was afraid if I got too close to them they'd start to shoot at me, so I was trying to prep myself before I went over to kind of pass underneath them, see if they would do anything. And it takes me like this is why I can't really do horror games, because I am way too cautious and I'm a little too paranoid when it comes to approaching enemies. You'll see later how many times I die in not only this part but in part 7, the part after this, because it's kind of ridiculous to the point where I'm just like, okay, fuck it, I just need to kill this thing, like kill these things that I keep dying against, like, for good. But I play this game very similarly to the way I play Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. In that one I try to pick people off like one at a time, and it will take me like an hour to do one area because I really don't want to get caught. However, excuse me, getting very burpy today. Oh, jeez. That probably didn't sound good in the microphone. But yeah, at that point I kind of just run past because I'm like, I don't think they can see me, so I was kind of trying to look for the Big Daddy at that point. I was like, where'd he go? And I looked over and he was pretty much gone. He kind of just went away from me. So I was trying to like plan out my next move, looking to see if I can grab any sort of other any other items that I could pick up before I moved on. And you can see I keep looking up, finding those different Eve hypos I could pick up and kind of replenish myself before I moved on. But whenever I play a game like this where it involves like certain aspects of stealth, I try to do the stealth parts as best as I can. But if I do get caught, then I kind of just say fuck it and I try and kill everyone in the area. Which I know that's very common. It's a very common way to play these types of games. It takes me a while to even build up the courage to go after these guys. As you can see, I'm finally deciding like, okay, how am I gonna do this? I'm trying to think it out. And I just set them on fire at that point. So yeah, at this point, after I kill these things, one of the things about this game is that a lot of enemies do respawn in these areas when you go back to them. So I'm trying to take my time, and I'm very like trying to stay focused on like if there's a Big Daddy that's going to come right around the corner and kill me. Also, I go and I decide to hack this area, which is, I think hacking is one of my favorite things about this game. It's such a simple mini game, and I've never really been able to explain it before. But it's just so addictive. It's kind of like, I'm not really one for puzzles like this, but I don't know, there's something about this kind of puzzle that it feels very rewarding whenever you hack something. So I have a big focus on hacking in this game, so you'll see me try and hack everything from machines that you can buy stuff off, to security cameras, to security drones, to turrets. I try to hack everything I see in this game because that feeling of being able to successfully hack something, it really like, it really pushes me to, like, I don't know, it gives me a good feeling. So at this point I find some more ammo and stuff for my grenade launcher. So at this point I'm like, okay, maybe I should prep. There's probably going to be enemies behind the door here, which this is probably one of the stupidest things I do in this part, because at this point I can hear there's a little sister in the room, which means there's a Big Daddy, and I see it right there, but there's also a whole bunch of enemies that are right there, and as soon as I go to attack it, the proximity grenade explodes in my face. So, and I'm like trying to, there's certain things with the controls where I'm like, I panic and start to mash buttons like crazy. That's a problem that I have that I need to really work on with these kinds of games. But yeah, I realize I'm like, oh shit, killed me, and now I'm all the way back down here. And at this point, I'm so paranoid that there's going to be new enemies that spawn back in the old areas that I'm just like, I need to check every single area. And you'll see that once I get back down to that area, I kind of just say fuck it and I start running through. But before I wasn't really paying attention to where the arrow was pointing, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to check back over in this area because I didn't see any enemies in the area afterwards. So I was like rechecking in the area to see if I can find anything that I missed. Found that Old Tom whiskey, so that was good. And just started to make my way back over. I didn't really see anything, so I checked, grabbed that pistol, and I was trying to look back in the area to see if I could find anything before I ran back up to that area that I just died at. But even so, like, I'm still taking my time, stopping before I turn a corner and like prepping myself. So at this point I'm like, there is a Big Daddy in this room. I can't really fight it, so I'm going to throw him on my side. And honestly, the Big Daddies are probably this is why I love the Hypnotize Big Daddy thing, because it can really, really help you in a bind. I just fucking whiffed 6 pistol shots. So yeah, we're in the Upper Wharf right now, which is I believe an area right before the area I'm supposed to get the camera at. And then I realized that there was a turret that was shooting rocket launcher bullets that was right over there. So I think my planning in this game is not the best. So I chose this spot and I was like, yeah, maybe the Big Daddy can get some damage. I was going to use that turret, but then he just fucking destroyed it, so I decided to check it. There was nothing. You notice I pull out the Hypnotized Big Daddy plasmid immediately, and I'm just trying to keep an eye on him as I'm searching for different loot in the area. So, and then I'm trying to get some distance away from the Big Daddy. So I'm like, if this thing goes off in my area, it's just gonna it's gonna go crazy. So this one I'm like, maybe I should try and get some damage on it, but I'm not really sure. I don't really remember what I do here. I think I go in and I try to attack it. But there's something I do realize while I'm trying to do some damage. I grab an Eve there. I think something I realize is that when the Big Daddy is in an animation where he's trying to retrieve the little sister, when he finds out the coast is clear, he's kind of invulnerable for that small section when he's grabbing the little sister. So yeah, it's I believe it's in the next part. You see me try to attack one while he's in that animation, and it does no damage, and I just whiff all of my ammunition. Oh, and at this point I think this is where I try to attack him, and you'll see my HP and my Eve are not up to standard for this fight. And I'm fucking idiot, and I'm like, hey, maybe I can maybe I can pick up that proximity mine and throw it at him. And I was like, nope, I'm just gonna go back to my original thing. And yeah, you see I just start fucking unloading everything I have at him, because at this point I keep forgetting that the anti-personnel rounds, those anti-personnel rounds are good for like regular splicers, not for the big armored Big Daddies, and I keep forgetting that when I switch to them. And something that I didn't explain, but you can see it pretty easily, is that whenever you switch ammunition, there's a good 3-4 second animation that it takes up precious time. So you really just don't have time to be switching between ammo when a Big Daddy is right in your face like that. So, and I keep doing that constantly, and I think that's also a result of us just coming back to this game every other week, and I keep forgetting the controls. But at this point I'm like, alright, I'm gonna fucking kill this thing. And I think he goes back to his same spot every time you come into that room, so I was like, he's right under water there, so I'm just gonna try and shoot him. I don't think I kill him on this round, but I can't remember. My best strategy at this point was like, okay, maybe I can draw him over to this water puddle and I can hit him with these electric buck shots from my shotgun. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking see what it does here. And I'm like, I'm taking chunks off him, but he's taking chunks off me too. So, and then like an idiot, I almost ran right over that proximity mine. So at this point I'm trying to use like everything I have in my arsenal, and I'm an idiot, and I run right over that proximity mine as I'm getting away. So like I said, I make a lot of stupid mistakes in this part. So you kind of see this area a lot, and I'll be honest, whenever I play these kinds of games, I usually play it on the easiest setting, but I was like, you know what, I'll try it on normal. And this is why I don't like playing these kinds of games, because I can get very impatient when it comes to fighting these kinds of enemies. And at this point you can see me kind of just run right through, and then this is what I was talking about. I whiff all of my ammo while he's trying to take the little sister out of the hole. So all of that ammo I kind of just whiffed on him. So at that point he runs around the corner, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna unload. And at this point I'm like, I'm gonna draw him over to the water and then hit him. And I just tried to unload every single last piece of stuff I had, and I finally killed one. So I was like, fuck yes, finally. So yeah, I never finished this game back when I played it on the 360, so I'm not exactly sure what Tannenbaum gives you if you rescue all the little sisters. That's the reason why I kind of want to do it. So, but yeah, I just quickly check over on the Big Daddies stuff, and then I kind of make sure that the little sister gets into the little hole. I'm not exactly sure if there's splicers in the area and you kill a Big Daddy and you can rescue the little sister. I don't know if those splicers can kill her while she's running to the exit. I feel like they can, so I'm always kind of just watching in the area to make sure she doesn't die. So yeah, at this point I think I killed all the enemies in this area, but I was still like, okay, I need to take my time and kind of look at everything. So I believe we're coming up on the end here. I think we got like 5 more minutes for this clip. So coming up to the okay, so this is essentially the section where they introduce so yeah, I told you I wasn't gonna be surviving another one more death for this video, and I believe I what is that, like 5 deaths that happened in this video? So yeah, I told you I'm not the smartest, but that, yeah. At this point, I was like, okay, I'm getting a little sick of this area, so I'm just gonna fucking rush through this. But I remembered that I had picked up new Atom, so I was like, alright, I'm gonna grab a new plasmid. So I believe I buy the Winter Blast one and the extra nutrition. So I haven't tried any of these other ones like Enrage or Sonic Boom, but I usually go for the ones that cost more, because usually 9 times out of 10 if it costs more, it is kind of better. So yeah, I grab extra nutrition because I haven't really been hacking as much. So, and then I got Winter Blast, which I think I only used once out of both of these parts that I recorded. And I got rid of telekinesis because I was just like, I'm not really gonna do that. So Freeze Blast is pretty much exactly what you can imagine. You can freeze someone, and then when they're frozen, you hit them again, and they will die. They will kind of shatter. So this guy comes up here, I try it on him, and then poof, shoot him in the face, he dies in one hit. He kind of just disintegrates. So I feel like I'm going to have a lot more use for this plasmid further down the line, but I think I only got to use it a couple times. But yeah, I think I come up to where I died there, yes, so I come up to where the turret section is, not turret, sorry, the cameras. I believe that's where I end the part. So yeah, so I kind of just loot this body here, grab the pistol rounds, and then take a look in the area. I see the camera lights up there. There's a machine right there. So I grab the rounds and take a look around. Wharf Master is up there. And this is the first time seeing this machine. So it's kind of like a bot shutdown machine. So if the cameras see you, then you can hit this panel to basically shut down any of the security drones that come out and attack you if the camera sees you for too long. So at this point I kind of just like test this out to see if I can hit this thing from the angle I'm at, which I believe I'm watching for the light, and then boom, hit him. Then I stop like right there. And I was trying to see if I could hack it, but this one's a little too high up. You can't really hack this one. The next one up I do think I was able to hack. But then I realized there was a Vita chamber there, so I was like, this is probably a good place to end this part. So I remember there was some stuff down at the bottom of the place there, so I was like, I want to get back down there and see if I can test and see if I can grab whatever's there. So I froze that camera again, and I believe I grabbed the diary and listened to that, and I believe this is where we ended. So that's going to be the end of part 6. Next part, we're going to pick up to where I believe I grab the camera. Alright guys, see you around.